Man, I thought we were done with Jaws stuff. It just keeps popping up. I don't know why. Jaws 3's original horror concept was genius, and why Steven Spielberg turned it down. Okay, so there was a lot to this, and we're going to talk about all of it. But apparently, Jaws 3 once had a great horror concept unrelated to the final version, but there's why it changed and why Steven Spielberg rejected the sequel. So let's talk about more Jaws, hopefully for the last time. Apparently, the first idea for a Jaws movie was a horror comedy parody called Jaws 3 People Zero. I'm still waiting for this film. Weirdly enough, I actually did a project in high school. They wanted us to talk about something that never existed, and I actually did talk about Jaws 3 People Zero. I was a big Jaws nerd in high school, and I still am, but it's become lesser to me. But I do find that to be a good idea. But eventually they said that no, there's no point in doing this, and apparently the writer who came up with that idea decided to leave. Jaws 3D eventually arrived in 1983, but Roy Scheider refused to return as Chief Brody because of the miserable production of the second movie, and Dennis Quaid replaced him as his son, Mike, who works at SeaWorld in Orlando in a 35-foot great white shark terrorizes tourists. Jaws is a movie set in a marine park and be rife with potential great set species, but Jaws 3D, instead of boring adventure with listless characters, while the sequel was still a hit, it received terrible reviews. Jaws 3 has should have gone with an earlier concept where the great white shark swam up the saltwater river and only got trapped in a man-made lake and was snacking on locals. I think that's a better idea than what we got for Jaws 3D because in my opinion Jaws 3D is the weakest of all of the Jaws films. Period. And I'm even putting it lesser than Cruel Jaws, which is the unofficial fifth movie in the Jaws franchise. But here's what Steven Spielberg had to say about it. He basically said that second movie and Jaws 3, I was done. He elaborated that he never wanted to go back on the sea following the production of the first movie, but he did say that he would have absolutely jumped at the chance to own a sequel because I knew that when I was walking away from the sequel, I was walking away from a huge piece of my life that helped create, but it wasn't a hard decision to walk away. I just could not imagine going back into the ocean and sitting on a boat for 9 months. It's unclear which Jaws 3 was offered to Steven Spielberg, but abruptly he decided not to do it with good measure.